You are listening to Profit Without Worry, episode number 137. We're all familiar with the big name celebrities running masterminds in the world of online marketing, but have you ever wondered what really goes on behind closed doors? On this episode of Profit Without Worry, I'm talking about why these high-level masterminds are sometimes dangerous and disingenuous, perpetuating people buying bad programs that do not work to cheat their way into our wallets. Hey there, I'm Michelle Evans, and this is the show where coaches, experts, and business owners like us get real about what it takes to create a profitable online business. I can tell you from experience that nonstop hustle plus random acts of marketing do not equal success. So how do we attract a steady flow of clients and sales without all the hustle? This is the Profit Without Worry podcast. Hey there, welcome back and thanks for tuning in. If you're in the US, I hope that you have a great 4th of July this week. It's certainly going to be a different celebration for us than in years past, where we usually go to a huge community park in Kirkland, which is right next to where we live, right on the Lake Washington, with fireworks and music and food trucks and just all sorts of stuff happening. This year, we're hanging out at home because our area is still fairly locked down. At least big gatherings like that are not allowed. So if you're not in the US, I hope that you just have a good week. Listen, I have a brand new resource for you, and it's free. It's a tell-all article that I wrote called The Real Reason Proven Marketing Formulas Have Stopped Working. And in it, I name names. In fact, today I'm going to go a bit into that. I show proof of how the Syndicate shaped the online marketing industry, and I show you why those pesky, proven formulas really don't work anymore. And I'm here to tell you it's not you, it's the system. I'll link to this article in today's show notes at profitwithoutworry.com/episode-137, or you can just go to profitwithoutworry.com/article to read it right there. It's all there. And from the people who have read it and have gotten back to me, I've gotten a lot of great follow-up feedback and stories and just all sorts of good stuff. Do yourself a favor and take a minute to read it. All right. Today, I want to talk about the big name business celebrities who pioneered the online marketing space. These are names that you've probably heard of. Maybe not all of them, but at least some of them. People like Frank Kern, Perry Belcher, Russell Brunson, Andy Jenkins, Evan Pagan, David Wood, even Tony Robbins, Bill Fitzpatrick, Yannick Silver, Jeff Walker, and a lot more. In fact, in my article, I linked to some videos showing many of these guys talking about being in a group that they used to call the Syndicate. Now they've kind of rebranded it because the Syndicate got such a bad name that they now call them high-level masterminds. And you'll know these. It's like what I joined because they're at least 30,000. I mean, some of these are $100,000 or more a year. So let's back up and talk about why these syndicates or high-level masterminds are dangerous and disingenuous and really perpetuate people buying bad programs that don't work. And they're cheating their way into our wallets and our bank accounts. Okay, first in the syndicate or the high-level mastermind, they gather a group of competitors together, and then they decide to work together. And you can't see my fingers, but that's with air quotes. And they're working together against us, the normal people. Here's what they do. First, they gather a group of like 10 to 12 people who do kind of the same thing. They all then plot out their promotions for the year. So one person gets January, person number 2 gets February, person number 3 gets March. You get the idea, right? And then, and this is where it's really frustrating and unethical, everyone starts aggressively promoting whoever is in their money-making window. So for January, let's say that there's 10 people in this group. So one person out of the 10, it's their product or service or, program that they're trying to sell. So that person is selling it, but all the rest of them, all 9 of them, get together and they also aggressively sell it. And what does that look like? Well, they'll hold webinars for each other and they'll say, hey, welcome today. I have the greatest expert ever about blah, blah, blah to tell you exactly what you need to know to really make money this year. They send emails about how amazing this person's product is. They even give fake testimonials so buyers think that this is the product that they truly need, the thing, the magic key that's going to unlock profits. And then they run ads for each other. And the final nail in this coffin is they all pay one another affiliate fees. So they're doing this and they're, looking like they're promoting one another. And it's gotten better. They didn't used to disclose that they were affiliates. Now they have to disclose that they're affiliates because so many of them got in trouble for it. But, the affiliate link is way down below, right? And so they're giving testimonials. They're talking about how amazing this person is, what this product or program or service is going to do for you. And they're doing that because they know that every person they bring to the table, they're going to get money for, right? So, for example, let's say that Frank Kern promotes Tony Robbins. Well, Frank will run ads about Tony, about how amazing he is, about how life-transforming his services or his events are. And then Frank will send emails about Tony. Then Frank will probably have a webinar or two. He might do some Facebook and Instagram lives or YouTube with Tony. He'll probably do some behind the scenes with Tony. Then, he'll probably produce a slick video for YouTube and do lots of video ads for Tony. So Frank runs around and tells everyone who trusts him, who's on his email list, who is in his community, how amazing Tony's product, program, or service is, all with the goal of getting you and I to buy it. Then when we shell out $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 or more, Tony keeps half the money and Frank gets the other half. Sometimes it's not a 50-50 split. Sometimes it's a different split, but you get the picture, right? In the meantime, we may not know that Frank is basically a paid endorser of this offer. I mean, they've gotten better over the last 10 years or so, but it still sometimes can be hard to see. We think Tony's program genuinely helped Frank to grow. Frank gave his, insights and how amazing this stuff is, when in actuality, Frank might not have gone to the program. He might never have seen it. He just is getting paid for it. Now, this is a made-up example. That's not something that actually happened. I just wanted to use 2 names that are pretty big that you might know. This is really unethical, in my opinion. Not that it's unethical to have affiliates, but it's unethical to have affiliates who didn't actually go through your program and transform themselves. Affiliates who are only pushing your product or program or service because they want the money. That is so unethical. And in many cases, it really has crossed the line into illegal. You can go see my tell-all article where I cite 15 or 16 cases where these guys have gotten into trouble, have gotten fined, and or been shut down. And here's the thing. None of this is bad if you actually bought, used, and got value from a product. I really want to make that clear. In fact, that's a testimonial. There is something incredibly powerful about having somebody buy your product, program, or service, go through the transformation, and be able to speak from an authentic place about how amazing that is. There's nothing wrong with that. But it is very bad, to the point of illegal, if you bring a group together and then you purposely lie and prop up each other's products, programs, and services simply for your bottom line to make money. And that's what Frank Kern talks about when he talks about a syndicate. That's what they mean now when they talk about their high-level mastermind groups. And go to my article and watch the video. You can see Frank say it himself. I'm not putting words in his mouth. But these groups have been around since the start of the internet revolution. They're basically working to scam you and I out of money by preying on our hopes and dreams and really showcasing how amazing each other's things are when in reality, they may never have even used them. And I'm just going to leave it at that. The worst video evidence is Frank Kern talking about how to form a syndicate. I have a link to it in my article, so you can head over to profitwithoutworry.com/article to read it. And you'll find 2 video links on page 2. So you need to read through page 1 and then get to page 2 that I highly encourage you to watch, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. And here's why it's so important that you understand that this is happening. First, these guys don't care. They don't care if their product, program, or service works. What they care about is getting your money into their pockets. It's all a numbers game to them. They're not helping humans, they're helping themselves. These are ego-driven businesses, and they focus strictly on having the biggest launch, having the most affiliates, having the biggest list, and having the most toys like expensive cars, planes, helicopters, boats, and more to show off. And again, none of those things are bad, but they are bad if your sole purpose is to lie and cheat and steal to get them. You'll know these bad faith actors because they're constantly peddling things. They've always got the latest and greatest program, product, or service that they're pushing month after month after month. This is greed-driven marketing. It reminds me of pyramid schemes that took down companies in the 80s and 90s, where the only people making money were the people at the top. But it doesn't stop there. The big guys, the guys at the top, they call themselves the A-team. They're the ones who got in early and built a big list using all sorts of shady methods that you and we can't use today, because now they're illegal. And because of their reach and influence and 7-figure launch mythical stories, we believe that they've got the magic answer that you and I haven't figured out yet. And it is true, they do have the magic answer. And you and we don't have access to that answer. We're never going to figure out what they did because we don't have the same access to the same opportunities available to us as they did in those early days with their syndicate masterminds and shady marketing practices. And it gets worse though, because they very actively recruit what Frank Kern has described as the B team. You and I would be on the B team. Basically, the A team players don't expect the B team really to make sales. What they expect is that you and I talk up their program. Just imagine these guys have their syndicate masterminds with 10 or so people. And these 10 or so people probably control millions of email addresses, 2, 3, 5 million, who knows. And they use those to promote each other. But then they recruit you and I, the B team players, to talk up the program. We don't have even 1/100th of their email addresses for promotion, but we have a much more intimate connection to our audience. So when we promote, we probably won't make sales or hardly any sales, but we inadvertently play into their game by lending our names and hard-earned reputations to these devious efforts. And it works. When everyone is promoting a program, even the best of us can get serious FOMO, which is fear of missing out. And we can jump on that bandwagon to buy something that we don't really need, simply because we feel like everyone else is in the in club. And that's the whole point of this. So the next time a big name has a launch and everyone is buzzing about the amazing program, I want you to really ask yourself, is this truly what I need to move my business forward? Will I actually do this program, or am I just worried that I'm missing out on something that everybody else knows? And is what I need something else, like, I don't know, a VA or a virtual assistant, like somebody who can do stuff for you, or I don't know, help with your website or help setting up opt-in pages, or who knows, a writer. Because if what you really need is different than what that program is offering you, or if you have no inclination or intention or interest in learning what that program is doing, I want you to say no. Don't buy it, no matter how many bonuses and promises are made. You should only buy things that really fit where you want to take your business. Because here's a lesson that I have had to learn so many times. FOMO does not pay the bills. And yes, I've had to learn it more times than I would like to admit, because apparently I'm a slow learner when it comes to this. I get sucked in, and that's why I wanted to talk with you about it, because it's only been in the last couple, maybe 3 years, that I've really said, nope, not even gonna pay attention to these big name launches, because I know that it's not what I want to do or where I want to go or what I want to focus on. And I've really been clear about what I need for my business, and I want you to do that too. But I will tell you this, some of the best products, programs, and services that I've purchased have come from people who are not well known, who don't have, a ginormous tribe of people blasting out about how amazing they are. But they are absolute experts at what they do, and they care. These folks might not have the slickest sales page or a 7-figure launch to talk about under their belts, but they do have knowledge, credibility, and a small but mighty group of people who speak very, very highly of them because of the incredible insight, work, and high level of service that they provide. So there you have it. Now when you see these big name launches and you see everybody start talking about it and buzzing about it, you're going to know what to look out for. And I encourage you to really be on the lookout for smaller, less well-known people who absolutely kick butt because they're truly experts. They're not just interested in making sales and bragging about their next 7-figure launch. What they are interested in is helping you get to that next level. And so I really, really want to encourage you to do that and to build your own group of people that you are dedicated to serving, that you show up for, that you help, because that's how you're going to stand out. It's not about saying, whoo, look at me, I've had this giant launch, but behind the scenes, A, you're not keeping even 70% of that money because you got to pay it out to lots of other people, and B, that you did it based on basically paying to play and buying your way in. Instead, build an authentic group of people that you really are connected with, that you really, really help, and that you can pay them, but you don't have to pay them to talk about how amazing you are. I know the best people who've ever helped me, I volunteer to give them a testimonial because they're so amazing. And I hope that you have that for you as well. All right. I'd love to hear from you. What has been your favorite product, program, or service that you've ever purchased? And on the flip side, what has been your biggest disappointment? You can hit me up on social media or email me, michelle@michellelevans.com. And as you were listening to this, did you think of someone who could use these insights about creating profit without worry in their business? If you can think of someone who could use this, would you do both of us a big favor and share this episode with them? It's really easy to do from whatever podcasting app you're listening on, or just share the URL for today's show, which is profitwithoutworry.com/episode-137, and your friend can listen right there on any device. And don't forget to go read the article, The Real Reason Proven Marketing Formulas Have Stopped Working. You can get that at today's show notes or profitwithoutworry.com/article so that you can see what it takes to create a movement with your marketing. All right, I hope that you have an amazing week, and I'll see you back here next week, same time, same place, on another great episode of Profit Without Worry. See you then.